Welcome to the Uzziah Show. I am your host, Uzziah, your success strategist. And if you have any questions about your business, career, or finances, then this is the show for you. Welcome. I'm so excited because today I want to ask a very important question. Why is it that Black men focus more on spending money on Jordans than we do on stocks? This is not all of us, but I want us to ask the question. Today, I want us to have the conversation, so feel free to chime in. Why is it that we are so quick to put our money towards material things that go down in value versus buying appreciating assets to create wealth? This is the discussion for the show. So, for those of you joining for the very first time, welcome. My name is Uzziah, and my job is to help you get out of debt so you can start your own business. This channel is about leveling up. My job is to help you get to the very best version of yourself so that way you can reach your goals and create generational wealth. So today we're going to talk about why we're so quick to buy Jordans, but we never buy long-term assets. If you like what this show is about, then please smash that like button. And please make sure that you donate so that way we could keep this show on air. Want to give a big shout out to my brother, Yasha Allah. Thank you so much, Yasha Allah. Really appreciate you, King. Yasha Allah already got the $20 donation in place. Thank you so much for the super chat. Dun says Hosea chapter 4, verse 6 is why my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Why don't we talk about that? This is a question that I have for you. Why is it that we seem to put all of our money in places that don't deliver a return on our investment? Why is it that we are so eager to put money towards things that are not invested in our growth and our development? That's what I wanted to talk about on this broadcast. I want you to leave me a comment and I want to get your take. Now, I got an article that I want to put on the screen. Y'all know I love going over these articles. I want us to talk about how we typically spend money as a people. Again, nobody think I'm saying that this applies to everybody, but y'all know how things go. I'm simply addressing the elephant in the room. How do our spending habits help or harm us? And what can we do to make things better? I'm going to put this on the screen so that way we could go over the data so that way y'all don't get caught up in y'all's feelings. What does the data say about this topic? Okay, so I'm pulling this up. This is on the website blackmeninamerica.com. Okay, and the article is entitled, How Do Black People Spend Their Money? The Racial Wealth Gap. There's a quote that says, it's not your salary that makes you rich, it's your spending habits. I'm just going to get a couple high points out of this. You know, this is a pretty long article, so I only want y'all to see just a few things. I'm not here to bore you, okay? But as we read in the article, it talks about how our money is spent. So it says more than half, 52% of African Americans find in-store shopping relaxing, compared with 26% of the total population. And 55% of Black consumers say they enjoy wandering the store looking for new, interesting products. When shopping, African Americans are more influenced than the total population by store staff, in store advertising, and merchandising, and is showing you the percentages of how more likely we are to buy based upon these factors than other groups of people. It says Black folks accounted for almost 90% of the overall spending in the beauty supply industry. That's crazy. Black consumers are also influenced by celebrities. If a celebrity designs a product, Blacks are more likely to buy it. And there's not a better example to show that than Jordans. We have put so much money into the Jordan brand that if we would have taken a portion of that and put it into long-term assets, my oh my, wouldn't some of us have generational wealth? Okay. Now, this is not to say you can't have nice things, it's not to say that you can't indulge, but this has to do with our priorities. This has to do with personal finance. When you come to this channel, I give you all things success related. So, as your success strategist, I'm trying to show you that the way that we think about wealth in general explains a part of the reason why many of us don't have it. So, I want y'all to look at these facts. It says 96.1% of the 1.2 million households in the top 1% by income were white. Let me read that one again. 96.1% of the 1.2 million households in the top 1% by income were white. So this is just saying that the top 1% largely consists of white people. It says America's 100 richest people control more wealth than the entire Black population. Now, y'all, we got to do better with this. And I know a lot of people won't like where I'm going, but I just got to call a spade a spade. We built America. It was our efforts and our labor that was responsible for America being the great economic superpower that it is. This country is built on 300 years of free slave labor. So why is it that if there were so many Black inventors, so many Black authors, so many Black thought leaders, that 100 people control more wealth than our entire population put together? Something is wrong. And guys, I'm not looking for us to look to other people to give the answers. I'm looking for us to see how we can do better ourselves. What are some of the best practices that other communities do when it comes to their money that we can learn from? And when we focus on doing better, our condition will improve. Now, there's some of y'all that are out there that are doing very well for yourself, but obviously, I'm talking by and large. It says the 5 largest white landowners own more land than all Black people combined. This is the reason why our foreparents begged for 40 acres and a mule, because one of the things that's very important is land acquisition. If you don't have any access to land, chances are you don't have much access to capital. One of the main determinants of wealth creation is land. Okay. This is the reason why I'm a real estate investor on top of being a business owner. For all of y'all that are familiar with the history of redlining, that was a time in which we were pushed out of certain communities because your home is one of the strongest wealth creations that most people will ever have. Most people will not have more money in stocks or in a business than they would have in their home equity. And it says that the five largest white landowners own more land than all Black people combined. Why are we not coming together collectively and starting to get a seat at the table? Why are we not using our money in a way that we as a community can all level up? You know, I think as a part of this Western culture, we have a very selfish mentality. It is, um, I'ma do me, you do you. It's about me, myself, and I. But success is a team sport. When you look at all of these other communities, you will always notice that there are segments within their community that put their wealth together so that way they can have more resources to provide for their family. This article says that the average Black family would need 228 years to build the wealth of a white family today. And now we could see a screenshot that was covered on the news. This shows that in terms of median net worth, when we talk about the racial wealth gap, the average white family has a median net worth of over $200,000. The average Black family has a median net worth of over $20,000. But why is this if we are among the hardest working people on the planet? Everybody else is working, but what about us? Are we not the ones that are keeping a lot of these companies going? Are we not the engine behind how wealth is created in America? The real problem for us as a people is that we know how to make America run, but we don't run America. We have always gone through our existence here as the worker. By and large, we have never positioned ourselves as the owner. So I want y'all to leave me some comments, y'all. I know that this is going to be a hot topic, and I know a lot of people are going to get triggered and, oh, well, why are you talking about that? But some of us got paid today. Is that money going towards us getting to the next level? Or is that going to be towards us repeating the cycle? Studies show that by the year 2050, the average net worth of a Black family will be $0. Studies show that we will actually decline economically rather than go up. And I think that there's a possibility that that can happen when you look at all of the content that I've shown you guys in the past week alone about how we are on the verge of hyperinflation, about how there are so many people that are leaving their jobs, about how we're witnessing a shift in the economy from standard stocks to that of cryptocurrency. If we are not positioning ourselves to be winners, then the only thing that's going to happen is that we will lose. If we know that things are moving forward, we're either moving forward with it or we're being left behind. So let me take a quick pause for a moment. Let me look at these comments. Let me see where y'all are at. Okay. Thank y'all so much for giving me comments. And please make sure to smash the like button. Okay. I want to give a big shout out because I received a $3 Cash App donation from Deanna Kimball. Thank you so much for the Cash App. Really appreciate it. For those of y'all that are just now joining, I'm asking, why do Black men buy Jordans and not stocks? Obviously, there are some of us that are well invested, but I'm speaking as a whole. Why is it that our money traditionally goes to so many other liabilities rather than us putting into assets? If we do not focus on ownership, there's no way we could ever see ourselves as the bosses of society. If we want to boss up and level up, we got to put our money where our mouth is. Okay. So, J32018 phone says, we buy fake designer items. We need to buy land in Africa. Use your currency, which is strong in weak currencies. Build your own table. This is a great concept. I actually know brothers personally that are moving back to Africa, and they're getting properties for what would be the same price of a standard home here. You got brothers out there living in mansions. I think that there are a lot of us that really need to expand our horizons. A lot of us have never left out of our city, much less the country in which we live. But there are so many other beautiful places all around the world, obviously, including Africa. Remember, we had so much wealth in Africa before we ever came here as slaves. So, why is it that we don't seek these kinds of opportunities? Well, maybe it's because a lot of us aren't talking about it. Maybe it's because a lot of us have not been educated about the repatriation. There's a lot of people right now that are making a move out of this country, especially with everything going on in the midst of the jab. You got a lot happening in the marketplace, guys. I need y'all to wake up. I want y'all to see what is happening so that way you can make the most of it. And guess what? I've been to Africa, and y'all want to know one thing? When I went to Africa, and I've been there multiple times, some of the primary people that I saw that were buying land there were not African people. These were people of other communities that were looking for promising real estate investments in this continent. Okay. Think about this, guys. Africa is so much bigger than America. But a lot of times we don't think outside of the box. We don't think about, what would really work best for us. We only can go off of whatever it is that we've been told. And now we have to start to change the narrative. Okay. Anti-Job University says, Colossians 3:2, set your affection on things above, not on the things of the earth. Absolutely. Above all things, we must seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all other things will be added unto us. So if we're not seeking the commandments of the Most High, and we're not seeking to create material assets, what are we doing? Where is our mind at? Okay. We were always created to be rulers and kings on this earth, y'all. So it's time for us to get back into our rightful positions. Yasha Allah says, show and tell. We'd rather look good than have true wealth. Society was built in a way where we would never have anything. We would only have sneakers to show for what we're doing, but it's a false appearance of success. Okay. For those of y'all that are just now joining, make sure y'all get those likes up. Please make sure that y'all share this video. Okay. Today, we're talking about why Black men buy Jordans and not stocks. Okay. One of the first things that I want to touch on as we address this subject is I think the reason why a lot of brothers don't delve into buying stocks is because stocks fall in the category of long-term assets that are not sexy in nature. See, when we talk about these different investments, these things provide long-term value. When you try to invest in things like stocks, bonds, gold, cryptocurrency, you've got to be prepared to work in silence. A lot of us like to be seen. A lot of us like to let the world know I'm winning. A lot of us aren't comfortable with just quietly having our money in these different places because we feel like we have to show it. That's the reason why we always tend to buy the Jordans and other clothing because we have to show our wealth. We have to show our money rather than us doing like Bill Gates or Warren Buffett does. We want to be so flashy with everything that we do. But now we have to start changing the narrative. Like I said, there's been so much focus in the media on looking rich instead of being rich that you actually don't know the difference between real money when you see it. This is the reason why I encourage all of you to buy the book called The Millionaire Next Door by Thomas Stanley. This author, Thomas Stanley, while he was living, did an extensive research on the majority of millionaires in America, and he came to find that the average millionaire doesn't actually look like a person with material goods. This is a person that looks like an everyday citizen. In the book, it talks about how the average millionaire drives a Ford F-150. The book also talks about how most luxury cars are actually owned by people who are not wealthy. So now we need to start to reevaluate what wealth looks like. For those of y'all that want to get on camera and talk about this subject further, I'm going to give y'all the link. Make sure that y'all click this link right now because I'm only going to be here for about another 20 minutes. Okay. So please make sure that you tap that link to Cam Up. Please make sure that you donate. Okay. I don't expect a lot of viewership on this one because I'm talking about a sensitive subject. I need y'all support, my people. If y'all love what this channel is about, then please make sure that you donate. All right. Click that link so you can Cam Up. And for those of y'all that want to give donations, all you got to do is tap the dollar icon directly below the live chat box. You could also go into the links in the description, especially for those of you that are tuning in after the live broadcast is over. Now, let's go back to the article. I just want to highlight one last piece out of this article because it's something that we all need to understand. All of us are making money, but where is the money going? We need to stop making excuses about how we're not winning because we're not making enough money. Because if you read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Rob Kiyosaki, you would know it's not as much about how much money you make as is where you put the money once you get it. 80% of all millionaires in America are self-made, first-generation millionaires. So they did not come from money. They had to start from the bottom and work their way up. We might feel like our bottom looks different than other people's bottoms, but the economic principles remain the same. It says, if current economic trends continue, the average Black household will need 228 years to accumulate as much wealth as their white counterparts hold today. For the average Latino family, it will take 84 years. Shout out to my Latino brothers and sisters. I want you to notice what it says right here, though. A common scenario for many Black folks when they get a huge chunk of money or their tax refund is to run to the nearest appliance store, high-end mall, or car dealer. We just love those shiny new rims. According to the State of Working America, Black people spend 4% more money annually than any other race, despite the fact that they are the least represented race and the race that lives in poverty at the highest rate. So there are so many of us claiming broke, but yet we will spend money as though we're rich. We will put our money towards material goods more than other people who actually have it. For other people who actually have the bag, even they are not spending as much money as us. And most importantly, with the money that is being spent, is it going to the right place? As you can see, there's a chart that's been put together that says the power of Black dollars, categories where the percentage of Black spending is greater in proportion to their population. For those of you that are getting on camera that click the link, just be patient with me, because as soon as I get done finishing this article, that's when I'm going to cam you up. So just hang out for a moment in the waiting room. Make sure that y'all continue to support. Make sure that you smash that like button, donate, because today we're getting into it. Now, I want you to see 85% of the total spend attributable to Black consumers goes to ethnic hair and beauty aids. But we don't even own the beauty shops. We don't own many of the places where a lot of our sisters go and buy this hair. So at what point do we start to operate in the spirit of ownership? Now, shout out to all of the sisters that have, started to open up their own beauty supply businesses. You got a lot of sisters on YouTube that are in the natural hair game. We are making strides. But what I'm trying to do is encourage more of us to operate as producers rather than consumers, because it can't only be but a few of us that are out here winning. If only a few of us win, then none of us win. Okay. We have to recognize that when you look at the most successful communities, they always mobilize together. You look at, the Asian community, they will mobilize their resources together. You will look at other communities, they will mobilize themselves together. Okay. Notice what it says. Ethnic hair and beauty aids will spend $54 million. The industry is a $63 million annual industry alone, and we make up 54 out of the 63. That's crazy. You think we're the only people on the planet that needs a beauty aid? What are we doing? Women's fragrances, 152 mil. Feminine hygiene, 54 mil. Men's toiletries, 62 mil. Okay. We put a lot of money towards things that only provide maintenance at best. We're not putting enough money towards assets that will help us grow for future generations. Now, I'm gonna start bringing y'all in on a chat. London Guy African, I want to add you in, my brother, if possible. Are you able to cut your camera on? If not, I'll still add you to the stream. I got you on here right now. Let me know if you can hear me. For those of y'all that are just now joining, we're talking about why Black men buy Jordans and not stocks. London Guy African, are you there? I cannot hear you. I can't hear you if you're trying to chime in. Okay, I can't hear you if you're trying to chime in. While you're getting the audio together, I'm going to patch in my brother Yasha Allah. Brother Yasha Allah, so good to see you on as always, King. Why do Black men buy Jordans and not stocks?
Shalom, big brother, shalom. It's due to that it was built in us. Because I remember a lot of that stuff you're saying. It just come back to me like it was yesterday.
Right.
Just like the cars. You remember back in the day, it hit for the hop, it don't stop until the rock of the beat. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
The chicken tastes like wood because we bought cars.
Right.
So, and we only could buy, we were so poor, we were going to buy a piece of car. So we bought the rims, the tires, just to look good and to feel good, because we couldn't afford the nice ride. You know what I'm saying? Only the pimps and the dope dealers can afford Cadillacs. You know what I mean? And even Cadillacs is also part of civil rights segregation. Because I know the history. And people don't know the history of the Cadillacs. And a white guy told me the history of it. I was like, whoa. That's true. And we just want to look good, not taught to invest. You're not gonna be a doctor. You can't be a lawyer. So you grow up like that. So you know what? If I can't do that, then I'll just do this.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Jordan is the prestige of I doing well.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I made it.
So,
I'm there. I'm on another level.
but you're pinching, because I done it. You're pinching pennies. Like, man, I ain't got nothing for food for a whole week.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? But you have to wake up, like you said, sooner or later. You know what I mean? But I understand why we do it. We was never taught. You want to look good and feel good because you was taught all your life. Even your parents be down there. You ain't no good. You like your daddy. You like your mama. You know what I'm saying? That beats us down as a people. You know what I mean? Everything else. But I told myself, I'm not. I'll fight it. I'll fight it. I'll fight it. Because you grow up. I grew up in New York with that hand-me-down clothes. And a lot of you today, they don't know what hand-me-down clothes is.
Right.
Hand-me-down shoes, sneakers. We had Pro-Cats back in the day when they first hit those Converse and Corvette. We had to put cardboard in our sneakers because we had holes in them. And they don't know what my generation went through. They have
y'all was roughing it, huh?
Hot dogs every day. I rarely eat a hot dog. I'm sorry, I just don't. I'm sorry. Nah. You know what I'm saying? Cold nights in New York. The heat's out. Mama can pay the bill. You know what I mean? I was like, I gotta do better. You know what I mean? In this, you know, but that's where it comes from, though.
So let's talk about that. And again, for those of y'all just joining, let's get these likes up, y'all. Let's get these likes up. All you got to do is tap that thumbs up button. It don't cost you nothing, but it definitely goes a long way to telling YouTube to send this out to more people. Shout out to my sister LA for life, man. She is on fire. Thank you so much. She says, I'm moving furniture, but I'm listening. Blessings. Peace and blessings to you, my sister. Much love. Okay, so why is it that we buy these Jordans and not stocks? So like I was saying before, you know, one of the things that we don't focus on is long-term assets. Instead of being the part, we want to look the part, and we want to look the part because that's sexy. If we could look like we're balling and we could look like we're stunting, then that's when we're doing something. I want y'all to check out a documentary called How to Sell to the Negro. This was a documentary that came out in 1954, and it is the model of how companies sell to us today. A lot of us don't realize that, you know, the marketing uh, of how we receive a lot of these ads on different products is based upon insecurities that we've taken on as a people. I want y'all to check out that documentary, okay? How to Sell to the Negro. And one of the things that it talks about is whenever you sell a product to our people, always make it something aspirational, because there's a lot of us that feel like we came from the bottom, so we will pay any amount of money to feel like we've worked our way up. We have such a sense of lack in our lives that we feel like we gotta have something to show progress. Okay. As y'all know, we have a very unique experience here in America, and we tend to process money differently than a lot of people do. But what I'm striving to do is I'm trying to give the world education so that way we can look at the best practices of how successful people make money. I try to show people how the winners win so that way we can take notes instead of looking like we're winning than actually winning. I know that a lot of y'all, you get triggered when I talk about studying successful people and what that looks like. But if we're going to talk money, then we need to study how people who are successful with money created their wealth. If we can see how successful businesses run, then that will give us a formula on how to design ours. There are too many of us that are always trying to reinvent the wheel rather than simply going off of what works. So, real quick, Yasha Allah, I'm gonna bring you right back in. I'm gonna try again with my brother, London guy, African Dreaming. I got you back on, my brother. If you could hear this, welcome. What are your thoughts on tonight's broadcast?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, loud and clear.
Okay, yeah, welcome. Thank you for just having the mindset you have. I do follow your show. It's very inspiring. You're
Thank you,
one of the
sir.
people that actually, I would say, inspired me to start my YouTube channel as well. I've got a YouTube channel, guys, called London Guy African Dreaming.
Awesome.
So you can check that up as well. Just shows you a bit of my shenanigans, what I do.
Awesome. Make sure that y'all subscribe. Let's show them some love, y'all.
Yeah, man, I need them subscribers, B. So yeah, I'm from London, guys, and I've traveled the world a bit. I've actually come to the States as well. And this thing's like what you're saying is basically a game. Yeah.
Right.
So I'm in my 30s, yeah. I haven't I wouldn't say I know everything about the world. Who does? But what I do know, I'm quite intelligent, I think, anyway. And what I do know is that, when somebody wins, usually the polar opposite is somebody loses. Yeah.
Right.
So if we're losing, somebody's winning. Just put it out there like that. So when we do certain maneuvers, like we buy, I don't know, watches which are £20,000 or $50,000 or whatever it is in the States, yeah, or certain iced out change to show that we're successful, and we're only buying it off a certain community who that's the high level. Then the medium level, the minute level is the hair shops. We go into a hair shop. The hair shop industry is not owned by us. It's owned by a different like race of people, but yet they're serving us. We're having these same type of issues in the UK. So
Right.
what that now tells me is that it's a formula.
Correct.
Because if it's a formula, that means somebody's winning. And if we're losing on this, that means obviously somebody's winning. Yeah. Now, in
Can I say
sports,
something about that real quick?
yeah, cool.
I don't mean to cut in. I'm just trying to, have the conversation with you, King. I'm so happy that you joined, man. I think one of the things that a lot of companies do as a part of their scheme for them winning is making it as easy as possible for us to spend our money. Would you agree with
Bro,
that?
of course, bro. Check on YouTube, yeah. There's this thing on YouTube is a great thing, yeah. But check on YouTube. There's this
Right.
there's this like little program or little documentary, how to sell to a black man, and that
Right.
was produced in the 1950s.
That's what I was
You
just
know,
telling them about. I don't
yeah.
know if you heard. I was just telling them about that.
No. I didn't
Yeah.
hear that. I was having issues
Wow.
getting
We on
into
the
the
same
thing.
page. Yeah, like literally,
Yeah,
bro, like 5 minutes ago, even LA for Life was just saying, I never heard of that. I sure will. I was just
yeah,
telling people 5 minutes ago that they needed to check out that documentary on how to sell to the Negro. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because like when you think about certain companies like Amazon, one of the things that they do masterfully is they make their products extremely easy to purchase, right? And that's not a fault of them. That's just business sense. They've
of
gone through
course.
great lengths to just make it to where all you got to do is click one button and then it's already on the way to your house. The companies make it very easy for you to spend your money, but it's so ironic. It's so easy for us to go out and buy Jordans, but there feels
Uh,
like such a barrier for a lot of us to learn how to invest in stocks. It feels like there's such an uphill battle for us to climb when, we learn about getting onto a financial brokerage company and start making certain investments. It's very important for us to see the people that are winning right now in crypto and other things. That's what we were talking about yesterday. they're willing to jump through hoops and bounds to make money. But
Yes.
in order to spend money, the companies have already made it so easy and convenient for you to spend that dollar. I want y'all to start paying attention to, notice what things are harder to get into and what things are easier to get into. And you'll notice that there's going to be a distinct difference between the things that actually put money in your pocket versus the money, the things that take money out of your pocket. Back to you, London guy.
Yeah. So what you're saying is really true, but I mean, everyone needs to realize that we're not as intelligent as everybody thinks, and we're way more easy to manipulate than, including yourself, including myself. Everybody's bombarded with advertisements. Everybody's
Absolutely.
bombarded with certain. If that was the 1950s, that program, what is it now? Like,
Correct.
it's so crazy to think how easy you're manipulated. So I put like one thing I will say. I was having this debate with my friend. Why in our communities are we so do we shun people that buy replicas or fakes? You know, I think that's a real topic to say, because if you buy a fake pair of Jordans, yeah, Michael Jordan's a great guy. I'm sure he is. He's probably done a bit for the community, but he's not opened up any factories in Harlem or the Bronx or anything like that. He's got enough money, bro. So if you're buying fake to protect your pocket, you may like the design or Yeezys, or even, let's take it even deeper. If you buy a fake pair of Louis Vuittons or a fake Rolex, why does our community shun the person that, and ostracize the person that does that so much? He might do that, use his money to buy some stock or some real estate, rather than spend so much on a item which is going to lose value, or does it even like gain so much value as property or stocks as quickly, you know? So that's one thing.
I think you said it right. I think you said it right there, London guy. It's about what you value. I think that our people place so much value on material things and fashion that we will regulate an entire protocol on what we ought to buy.
But can I just say this point, brother?
Real quick, but then when it comes to us and things like investing, we don't have any protocol at all, because by and large is not something that all of us value. If all of us value it, then we can hold one another accountable the same way that we try to hold people accountable playing fashion police. All I was going to say is, when we talk about, you know, why people won't buy something fake, is because our community, we put so much value behind these brands that there's no way that we would buy fake, because we would feel like we're being less than, but really we need to keep that exact same energy when it comes to these investments. Why don't we feel less than there?
Yeah, can I know you got people waiting, so I just want to quickly hit my points here, then I'll go. But basically, like, if I keep it 100, one of the main reasons is self-esteem. We've got such low self-esteem as a collective that we can't even wear a replica, even though they're probably made in the same factory. Maybe one's made at 6 o'clock in the morning, another pair of shoes is made at night time when nobody knows about it. That's the replica, you know what I mean? Or next door to the original factory.
Yes,
we've got so much like like esteem issues that we need these short-term brands, to something you wear to show externally to other people. Yo, look at me, I'm wearing a Louis top, I've got a design of this, blah blah blah. Because inside there's issues. The other thing I was gonna say to you, as I said, I know you got people on, so I'm just gonna whiz through my points quickly. Generational wealth. Yo, you might actually miss it. Like, if I want to build generational wealth now, I may not be the recipient of that generational wealth. It could be my granddaughter or my grandson, you know, if I do it correctly. So it might not even be my child. Maybe, yeah, I'm not saying we'll have a bad life, but serious generational wealth where people get set up. We need to start thinking long term, man.
Absolutely.
You know, really, really long term. Because as you hit on the nail, even in the UK, hyperinflation's coming, bro.
Yes.
Hyperinflation's knocking on the door.
Yes.
And what does that mean? That means everyone's getting a pay cut, you know, at the end of the day. It's serious, you know. And my last thing I want to say to the people listening to, I've seen different nationalities coming to the UK, black nationalities. I think in America, people talk about the Nigerians. Here, I've seen Ethiopians or Eritreans. They come together and they open up their cafes or they open up their restaurants, okay, or a barber shop, okay. So they work together, and then what they do, because our currency is very strong, they send the currency back home. Now, I know in America and some people in the UK might not have links to Africa or wherever. It doesn't need to be Africa. You can look anywhere on the map, bro, where your currency, the dollar's strong. Yeah. Maybe Brazil is cheaper than somebody in Brazil takes. For them to earn your salary might take them 2 months, 3 months for them to earn your monthly salary. That means you're now ahead. It doesn't even matter about racism. It doesn't matter about structural equalities. You're now ahead. Use that advantage to further your goal. You know,
absolutely.
seriously.
We got to get back on here again, man. I wish we had more time.
Yeah. I'm coming up, man. I'm coming up.
Back on.
It's late here as well, so
yes.
I'm gonna listen to this, but yeah, man, that's what it is, and keep doing your thing. I mean, you're smashing it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for letting me on, man.
Hey, anytime. Thank you, my brother. Yasha Allah. Man, we've had a good show. You know what time it is for me. I'm about to get out of here, man, but I definitely appreciate you as always, my brother. We gotta work London Guy into some future shows. Did y'all like London Guy? I'm telling you, Yasha Allah, we need you on. London Guy, we need you on. LA for Life, we need you on. Ariel, we need you on. I need some of my heavy hitters. I want to get y'all on a panel one of these nights. That's what we're going to do. One of these shows, we're going to have a panel night where we're going to talk about an issue together as one big family and start to find some solutions. All right. So thank you so much, my brother Yasha Allah, for tuning in. And thank you as always for your support. All right. Shout out to everyone that participated in tonight's show. I really loved all of the comments. Big shout out to my sister, Nicole P. She says that she enjoyed tonight's show. Great info. And then she followed that up with a $5 super chat. Listen, y'all, I'm out of here. But as always, before you go, I always give you 2 free stocks. The Uzziah Show is sponsored by Webull, one of the fastest growing financial brokerage companies in the world. On Webull, you can not only invest in the stock market, but also cryptocurrency. Guys, crypto is blowing up. So if you want to get started, feel free to click the link in the comments and then you can get in. Okay. Listen, thank you to everyone that donated once again. If you have yet to donate, but you loved tonight's show, please make sure that y'all donate and support. Y'all, shout out to Nikki P. Shout out to LA for Life. Shout out to Yasha Allah. If y'all want to get more value from me, then make sure that y'all check out my free book, The How to Succeed Survival Guide. In that book, I walk through a lot of steps on how I transitioned out of my 9-to-5 job into being a full-time business owner. All right. So I will see y'all again, Lord willing, on Sunday's broadcast. I'll be on here at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. You could catch me Sunday through Friday, 7 p.m. Central. Have a great weekend. Until next time, keep pushing.